Hey, this channel and its videos are intended for adults only and not for children. No kids allowed. Hey you, it's me, Mikey, from the Mikey's Video Game Madness videos. Oh, I guess you're new to the channel. That was a stupid intro. Thank you so much for all two of you that continue to watch this channel. For anybody who accidentally stumbles across this channel, thank you so much and welcome to the channel. Today we're playing Savage Earth, Journey to the Savage Planet. Apparently I don't even know what game I played. Journey to the Savage Planet for the PlayStation 4, also available on PC and the Xbox One. This is the PlayStation 4 version. It's probably just a clearer looking version than the PlayStation 4 version. I've seen both. There's very minimal differences as far as performance goes. I just think that the PlayStation 4 Pro version looks a little bit more crisp. I don't know what you would call the effect. There's like a mesh effect sometimes with the Unreal Engine 4, which this runs on. That's more noticeable in some games. It's almost maybe even like a stippling effect. I feel like I noticed it less when I played it on the PlayStation 4 Pro. But yeah, sometimes they can fix that though, because I saw like on Street Fighter 4 that was something that looked so Street Fighter 5, excuse me, that was something that looked really ugly and they ended up fixing it somehow, but there's not a huge difference. So this is a fun game. I love this guy. He reminds me of something that would, like, if you woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and happened to have Adult Swim on, which is like the adult version of Cartoon Network at night. Like, I think it comes on at around 9 o'clock, I guess, when kids are starting to go to bed, and they have more creative, surreal shows in between the 5 million episodes of Family Guy and American Dad. Granted, I haven't watched Adult Swim in quite some time. I've been going to bed to like true crime shows. Apparently, even though they're terrible, they help me sleep. The last video that I did was Crystar. That was actually recorded fairly close to the time the other videos were recorded, and I was extraordinarily tired when I did that, as well as the other videos. But the last video was really depressing, and yeah, I actually waited a long time, meaning like a week or so, before I decided to post that one, just because I was like posting a lot of insecurities that obviously revolved around work. Sorry, I can't talk. I'm still not getting really good sleep. But I'm working on that. I probably should cut back on the coffee and soda, but I don't know, in a weird way, like, it makes no sense at all. It helps with anxiety. I don't know, it's like a comfort thing. But anyway, so without getting into details, I decided to no longer work at that place, and it's probably better for all parties involved. Don't worry though, there's some ideas and things that are set in place where hopefully I can get something that will maybe I'll enjoy more or make me happier, and there's room for actual growth, because that being in your like mid 30s, you definitely want to feel like there's growth somewhere. But yeah, that's as much as I would like to talk about it. But I think mental health wise, it was definitely probably something I probably should have explored. I probably thought about it, but explored and maybe went through with it earlier. But I hate giving up on things. Like one of the things in life that I want to do is always, and this is stupid because I've always been like so like I've always tried to be like an individual and want to do my own thing, but yeah, like I want to be included at the same time. It's such a weird paradox. So beside that, I got a little bit depressed. Who are we kidding? I was devastated, but ultimately, like I said, I feel like it was the right move. But when you're depressed, you make really frivolous decisions, especially when it's purchasing things, and this is one of the things I happened to end up purchasing. So Journey to the Savage Planet, it's a 1 to co-op player game. It's kind of like No Man's Sky. I had to think of the name of the game. This commentary is going so well, and I would say it kind of reminds me of Portal a little bit with its sense of humor, with a hint of the director from RoboCop, Fatal. What is it? Fatal Attraction, Fatal Instinct. I don't know. Like I never saw that movie, but I did see Starship Troopers, and I'm gonna destroy the director's name, but Peter Van Hoven, I think's the person's name. If it's not, feel free to correct me. But if you are correcting me, you already know what I'm talking about. So you go around this planet, you have a little scanner, you gain other gadgets, including a gun, and you go around, you gather resources, and you scan the planet. That sounds super boring, right? That's why No Man's Sky sucked for so long. But what's cool about this game is that you constantly have something that's talking to you, so you never really feel alone, and you always have these discoveries of all these weird animals and everything that makes it fun. And it's not like the weird animals in No Man's Sky that have like 3 frames of animation that look stupid because they were procedurally generated. These are well-designed creatures and they act silly. There's not like a million different creatures though, because they're not procedurally generated. There's a finite number. This would be considered a budget title, but it's a really good budget title. So right now I'm scanning the ship to look for damage and stuff like that to assess what I need to do. Even though it looks like I'm in the ice world, like I'm on an ice world, one of the cool things about this particular planet is it's very different and it's very vast, and you get cool gadgets to explore, and it's a really fun adventure game disguised as like this exploratory game. And I'm only like a few hours in. I think it said how much time like I spent on this game. I think it said between like I played this and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot back to back, which is really weird for me because I'm not a huge Dragon Ball Z person, but I'm really enjoying Dragon Ball Z Kakarot because it like truncates everything into like something that I can play as an action JRPG, and it's been really fun. And one of the games I spent 4 hours on, and one of the games I spent 7 hours on. You can look at the beginning to see how much time, but I spent enough time on it to know what this game is about, if that's important to you. I don't feel like it's important to be able to finish every game to have some sort of opinion about it. So these things are little cute things that you have to scan. You have these little cans of grog, which are basically like grenades of food, and most animals in the game love it for some reason, and that's one of the things that you do to help you scan the animals. Sometimes they'll go and they'll start eating the stuff, so they'll stay still enough so you can scan them, because not all the animals are nice and cute and cuddly, although these animals will attack and kill you if provoked. Another thing that I will say is that sometimes the game can be intimidating, which you'll see when the game opens up, because there's so much foliage and little things that are aesthetically pleasing and makes the world really different, but you'll have to stay in like this wireframe scan mode to be able to know what you're supposed to scan, because you'll like go into this world with a million different things and you'll get overwhelmed. You're like, what am I supposed to scan? What am I not supposed to scan? And then it'll start taking enjoyment away from you because you're overwhelmed. And the game's not that bad, but that's a little bit annoying. I haven't played this game in co-op, so I don't know what that's like, but you saw that those animals shit out carbon, so I can use carbon on the 3D printer and actually make a little makeshift gun. The gun does not use ammo, has this weird kind of cool creative reload cycle, which I like. As you can see, there's a little skill tree. I don't think this will be a terribly long game, but it's a creative game. It's probably more creative than most AAA titles that I've actually played. Maybe other AAA titles are long, but there's more creativity in this game than your average AAA title, so that's a high praise. Like, I would not be surprised if this does well, like they would come out with like a larger version of this game. I would love to be able to explore other planets. Let me open up this cherry coke, because acid reflux is my middle name. I don't know why my parents decided to give me two names. I'm from Virginia, like we're Southern. I don't know. So now I can get through the crystal. So in a way, it's kind of like Metroid Prime, since that was the 3D one, or Metroid, or Metroidvania, where you get an item, you go further on. I was about to spoil like where I am in the actual game, because I'm starting a new game for the sake of this video, but right now I'm working on building a new item, and it's just kind of cool. The designs and everything are so creative. It's so weird, like when I looked at the reviews after like I kind of like played the game to get an idea, like, because who doesn't like validation? And when you like something and then you're like, I'm gonna look it up, like I can't believe like I didn't notice that Journey to the Savage Planet like on the right side of the screen when it appeared, like the little logo. I should commentate, right? I feel like I should be like a talk show host. Unfortunately, I don't have any friends, so that would be extraordinarily difficult. No, I have friends, but like we live in an age where everything's like digital, so most of my social interactions a lot of times ends up being through like texting and stuff like that, which it's a great world to live in now, but in some ways it's super frustrating because like you want to go and hang out with your friends, but it's also like you're 30, 35, like why don't you have a family? Other people have families, they're busy doing stuff, they don't have time to hang out and do stuff, and that's completely understandable, but you need to get your shit together. And then here you are, you just like left your other job. What are you doing? Anyway, I digress. So yeah, so you see like the little snowy planet, it's starting to get a little bit more diverse, so you're discovering all these weird things that are around you. I would love to see like the team. Like I saw some of the behind that. I said that real southern. I was like behind the scenes footage I saw, and the developers, they were talking about the game, and they were saying how fun it was to be in the environment. They were like sitting there, and they were drinking sweet tea, because in the South the only kind of tea that exists is the sweet kind, and if you don't drink sweet tea, you must be one of them northerners. Anyway, so yeah, so this is the first time I ever died in the game. Of course, I had it recorded. It's not the first time I died, it's the first time I died by animals or creatures in the game. Let's be nice, we'll call them animals. Usually when I die, I fall off cliffs and stuff like that. That's another thing that can get somewhat overwhelming, but like you adapt. Like I love the full motion video. I grew up, I didn't have a PC, so I didn't get the full-fledged full motion video effect that were in so many games, but I did have a Sega CD, and a lot of those games had full motion video, and I'm one of the few people that absolutely loves it, and it's super nostalgic to me, and I love that because that's something you don't see very often. I hope this game really does well. Also, I just wanted to say, even though the last video was depressing, I was kind of bummed. Like, part of the gameplay footage for Crystar was cut off, not in the video. I mean, naturally I didn't have the footage, but one of the important story elements or whatever that I wanted to show was cut off because I ran out of space on the memory stick I was using when I was recording it. I would definitely recommend Crystar now that I sound like 10% more upbeat than I did in the last video. I would definitely check out that game as well. But I feel like this game would appeal to more people. But don't let the this commercial's so gross. Don't let the idea of exploring like a planet and it being like No Man's Sky. Although I heard that game has gotten a lot better. Like I should go and try it out again since it's gotten patched 5 billion times. Like I played it during the middle and I was kind of lost because it felt like a new game. I can't imagine what it feels like now. But I would definitely check this out. You are more funneled in, and this is a more linear game than you would think it would be. And it's a great adventure so far, and I have no complaints based on the 4 to 7 hours that I have spent on it. I can't remember which game I spent on what. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you continue to watch.
If you want to, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.